Today, I will reveal the shocking truth. Because it's a shock. That's why it's shocking. About the most successful EUC suspension design ever in the world. So let me tell you more about it. Thank you, Train.
Wrong way.
And hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And I will just do what I said in the intro. And probably you're wondering, what is actually inside of those EUC shocks? And today we will address that. We'll take apart the original FastAce design, the one that was pioneered on the Sherman-S, and the Sherman-S had great success, along with other EUCs by LeaperKim that came after it. We also have the InMotion shock, which is kind of similar. We'll see what the difference between them is, and also the newest design that we have on the LeaperKim Lynx-S. But before we go into the nitty-gritty of those things, why do you even have suspension and how do you set it up? So we started getting suspension in, what was a big one, electric unicycles in 2020 with the InMotion V11 and Kingsong S18 coming to the market. Those initial suspension designs were maybe a little bit suboptimal, but now we have this, and this is very customizable and quite durable. But suspension is not just like putting a spring into a round cylinder shape. Well, it's actually adjustable, and it needs to be adjusted according to your weight, riding style, etc., etc. So one rider will want to have a different setup compared to a different rider.
3, 4. The suspension is killing me. The suspension is killing me.
So on this setup of suspension, which is a hydraulic suspension, well, one of them is hydraulic and pneumatic, we have, well, 5 components basically that we can change. Number 1 is the type of spring we have and what kind of pound rating it has. So at LeaperKim we have 66. 72. The lower you have the pound rating, the more it is geared towards a lighter rider. So if you're a 100 kilogram plus rider, just take the heaviest shock out there. Or if you like to do off-road and big jumps, just take the heavier shock option. So on a lighter spring variant, you will just bottom it out right away. You will go right to the end of the travel of the suspension, which doesn't really help you all that much with softening the impact of a drop or some sort of curb or pothole. While on a heavier spring option, you will not bottom out. You will actually use the whole travel of the suspension. Now, there is also spring types, progressive and linear, and maybe that's something that we will take a look at on the table later. And if you want to get any of those wheels in Europe, feel free to check out monokolo.eu and use my coupon code WRONGWAY to get a 5% discount. The second parameter you can change is the preload. And what is preload, you might ask? Well, it is how much the spring is preloaded, so already sprung inside into bigger tension before you even step your foot on the EUC. So let's show you with a very easy example what the difference in preload here might be. Now, because the Lynx-S doesn't have a usual preload setting like the suspension that we had at LeaperKim so far, we will show the example of preload on a LeaperKim Patton-s. So for that, you take a 18 millimeter socket wrench, and now you can see that this part here is all the way out. So this is sort of no preload on the suspension. And let's see how the suspension behaves. So yeah, when I put my foot or my whole weight of 71 kilograms on the wheel, it sags, all of the suspension goes down by this amount. Probably we should have a ruler. Do we take a ruler, Serge?
We can.
All right, so we have Serge here, my trusty Serge. So, so we can check the standard pedal height without any sort of addition of rider weight. How high is it?
23 something.
23. And now, if I go and go to suspension, let's see how high it is now.
20.
20. So we have 3 centimeters of sag So let's screw this in now and see what changes. All right, so now you can see it's all the way in. Let's see what's changed. Let's see how my impression of it is as well. Okay, it feels a lot stiffer, definitely. And what's the change in sag?
Actually 22?
22.
21 and a half.
21 and a half. So we have, when I stand on the wheel, I have 1.5 centimeters more suspension travel. Good shit. Oh, we're actually educational.
Yes.
So if you're a heavier rider, you will want to set some preload on your LeaperKim wheel in order to actually use the full suspension travel. And I guess around like 2 centimeters of sag is fine. What do you think? Like there's some sort of rule in the MTB world, but honestly, just go for the gut feeling. Like if you do a lot of stairs, if you do a lot of drops, probably you will want to have more preload on your suspension. But there's also some other parameters that will also change the ride feel, which we will go into now. But yeah, the heavier you are, preload will probably help. So the third thing you can change on your suspension is the compression setting. And this is the blue knob. It's always blue, yeah. And it says compression, it's either hard or soft. So now we have it all the way screwed out, so it's all the way soft. Let's see how the suspension reacts. All right, so feels a bit like a trampoline, and the suspension goes like sort of into the, I don't know, piston very easily. So let's adjust it real quick. It also has those clicks, so you know sort of how much you have turned it. I set my suspension up to 20 clicks, or like 3 clicks, or whatever clicks. Okay, it's all the way in now. It will be very exaggerated, but that is what we want for the video. It doesn't feel like that big of a difference actually on this wheel. Yeah. So it's definitely more resistance in order to push the suspension sort of inside, but actually I don't feel such a big difference. So if you want to race on a racetrack, you want the suspension to feel stiffer, you want the EUC to feel more sporty, then you set up the compression to hard, so the suspension is not as willing sort of to compress, or this motion takes a bit more effort to complete. But on the other hand, if you want to have the most comfortable ride off-road and you just don't care so much about how the EUC responds to you, you just want to glide over terrain, then set the compression to soft. The fourth parameter you can change is rebound, and this is the red knob. On the Patton, it's on the left side. So now it's all the way out. Let's see how the EUC performs. So just like we had without compression, like this is everything all the way open, feels like a trampoline. The thing that you wanted to observe is how the EUC goes back up again. You can see it's I almost can like jump on it like on a trampoline. So yeah, let's screw this all the way in. So in the clip before, we had the rebound on fast, and now we'll have a slow rebound. It almost feels the same. I think the oil in here just, like, it's this very minute difference, but the EUC goes back up a bit slower. I think you can see it on the video.
The video you can definitely see it. Because now you can like jump before the wheel goes up.
Oh, there you go. So there's definitely a difference, but apparently on the Patton, I don't feel it as much as on other wheels, but it's definitely there. So if you don't want your EUC to feel like a trampoline, if you want to have, I guess, also a bit of a better road feel on your wheel, then you can just set the rebound somewhere in between, so it's not as bouncy as with the rebound all the way fast. If you want to go down some stairs, I prefer to have the suspension stiffened up a little as well, so it just not like gets all confused with all of the steps it takes. Every step it takes. Yeah. What's the next thing we can change? Oil. And that is in precisely fork oil. Many forks given. The stock oil on those shocks is alright, as I've been told by Serge. But if you want to have, well, the similar experience as you have on your shock now, then probably somewhere around 7.5W to 10W is pretty similar to the stock one, is it? You're looking at me a bit weirdly. It's fine. Okay. And then if you are a heavier rider and you don't want to change the spring right away, or like the compression isn't enough, then you can change to heavier fork oil like 15W. There's also stuff in between like 12W. This is a sort of easy way, not that easy because you need to take apart this spring in order to do that, but this will also change how your suspension behaves. Bonus point. We call it bonus because we thought there's 5 points, but there's actually 6. But let's call it bonus point. So the bonus point, also kind of good that it's a bonus point because those springs are also not cross-compatible between all of the suspension systems. But nevertheless, you can have a linear suspension where the whole spring has the same sort of distance in between, well, each winding, which means that from the top of the travel down to the bottom of the travel, it's always the same resistance. Now, on the other hand, when you have a progressive spring, the further you go down into the travel, the more resistance the spring will have. So it's better against bottoming out, but at the same time, if you have a lighter sort of spring, lighter suspension setting, it's also good on those smaller imperfections on the road. So typically, this, I would say, is more comfortable and better well-rounded than this. Serge is behind the camera and he doesn't agree.
I doesn't agree because like now when you have those Lynx-S's with linear springs, Sherman-S's old one, like those linear springs are more comfortable because it just works better. I don't know.
Well, more linear, I guess.
More linear, yeah. And you have like, you feel more travel, less.
Oh, you have more travel in like the usual day-to-day stuff.
Yes.
But then it bottoms out.
But then that bottoms out. Yeah, that's true.
So.
I mean, I'm 50-kilogram guy, man.
It doesn't bottom out with you.
Yeah.
So you could say that this is better for off-road and this is better for city commutes. Huh. So now that we have explored those different suspension settings, it's time to take those things apart and see how they look from the inside. All right, so we have the suspension pieces out, and now we go on to Serge to explain to us what kind of differences you can see.
Let's start with what's there in suspension. We have like this is the bottom part, which should be in very good condition to not to let the oil leak out. You can see, actually this one was replaced because it was screwed here because of the fire.
This is after fire wheel, but not the wheel caught fire. There was a fire of a building. Different video. Check it out.
Yeah. And this part is like a slider. It's, I know, looks like a PTFE or something kind of, or maybe brass, like a slider. After lots of kilometers, this is the part that can be loose. In this place, suspension gonna like move inside. But for now, like with the LeaperKim wheels, I don't have. Maybe like I have once, like with the Charex wheel, like after 24,000 videos, like you can definitely feel that it's like a
bit loose.
Yeah. What we have like a spring. It's inside. You can see like it's all the disassembled. I need to tell that it's the original Sherman-S, like a first one shock. Have a spring. You can see this linear spring. Later they changed it to the not linear, progressive. Yeah. The oil is in this part. Now it's unscrewed, so there is no oil. But
how do you like put in the oil, and how much do you have to?
For the Lynx, when I assemble it, it looks like this, and I put it just in this hole, 120 milliliters for the Lynx and 100 for the Patton-s.
Okay.
Milliliters. You just like make it with a
syringe.
Like inside you can see those white part, it's like a rebound part or compression part. So inside I'll unscrew another suspension and like show you precisely how it looks compression and rebound. But now what you can see, this is a preload. And you can hear like all those metal shafts, small ones that is there. So basically you can see here it's already a little bit like screwed. So that's actually push those shafts, push this washer and make it squeeze. Like here you can see it's like no preload and this washer is like high. But when you screw the preload, it goes down, down, down. Actually make a preload spring, like literally preloaded.
Preloaded, yeah. But you don't lose on suspension travel. That's an important part here.
Yeah, because the suspension travel goes between, like, let's say, this part and this part until this metal part reach the sleeve. Like what to tell it?
Yeah.
How I don't know the terms for it. So like when they say that it's 90 millimeters of suspension travel, they measure this dimension actually.
Okay. You were saying about the compression and the rebound here.
Yeah, for the compression and rebound, give me a second, I'll screw this one and show everything what it looks like. And also I need to show one more important stuff. So this is the top part of original FastAce suspension, and if you have a leakage of oil in your suspension, probably it's because of this part. This is a shimmering that holds the oil inside. So for maintaining the suspension, you need to change this like shimmering. Also, I need to tell that because of this is Sherman-S suspension, now we have some difference in like a Lynx, older Lynx's suspension stuff on new Patton-s and original Lynx. You have additional like inside the seal that actually helps not to make the oil leak out. And I wonder if those two have this the same. So we'll open and see it just in a second. Start with the P6.
Really quickly, we discovered something here in the meantime.
In all those LeaperKim wheels, those bottom part moves around those like top part. Like top part moves around of the bottom part. It makes the all wheel not be sturdy, let's say, when you're riding. But like on a P6, I cannot like really. I cannot like make it move, like a screw rotate. Nothing. I don't know why. Maybe that's why it's more stable, you know, if you...
Yeah, fascinating. I guess all of those suspensions do have a patent by LeaperKim, because I was at their factory, check out my factory video for that, and they have a patent for the suspension design. So I guess InMotion had to call LeaperKim and ask them if they can do such a suspension in their P6 and V12S.
And I can't see any like additional stuff inside. It looks very similar, but I need to tell that it's very sturdy and it was not moving as we've seen. Actually, wonder like now it moves. Look, but when it's screwed, maybe it's because very tight here inside. It wasn't moving. I know if it's good or bad. It is what it is.
Do you see any differences here on the shock design?
Nah, it's very similar. It's like actually very similar.
So yeah, and it's also a linear spring, eh?
I mean, we cannot see because it's inside. That's a good question. You can actually see how different this is.
Yeah,
because
this doesn't look like it is a progressive spring.
You have like a pumping part inside. That's why they make everything shorter, and you can see like a difference between springs. So normally this is like a Lynx or Sherman-S spring, and this is new Lynx-S spring. So
you can see like this much shorter spring on the new Lynx-S compared to the older ones.
But it looks like it doesn't give the neck effort in travel. That's what I was wondering. Inside, yeah, this is how it looks inside. We'll see how it works in the future. Can we see like the pneumatic part of this one? Technically it's achievable, but I'm not sure if I can make it without brake.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, I need to like a special wrench to unscrew this part, you know, it like should be wrench that goes inside and then unscrew it.
Okay.
Because if I'll take top part apart, it will not give us any result. But I can unscrew the compression and rebound and show you how like compression and rebound works, because that's what I need to do. I just make all the compression soft. And now this is also very cool because you don't need any tools to adjust it on the fly. Well, actually on the P6 you also don't need tools, or do you? I mean, you don't. Yeah, probably you don't. And the difference is also that in the old shock we had rebound on one side and compression on the other. And I think here we also have like a rebound on one side and compression on the other. Yeah, and compression on the other, and this one is rebound in motion. Yeah. But on Lynx-S we have both, like in both shocks. Yeah. So yeah,
if you change rebound or compression on the new Lynx-S, you need to do it on both shocks.
That's like for changing spring, you need to unscrew this part, and you can see like oil getting out of the rebound and compression. So basically, how it works: you have here those
Knobs.
Yeah, thank you. And what they do, and they close in the airflow, like from the inside. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it don't letting the oil go through those parts with. So yeah, this is like for this one is for rebound, and this one is for compression. And like if it's screwed tight, it's not let those parts go in. That's why it's, as you've seen on the video, move less free.
Yeah.
More sturdy. So yeah, what I need to do, I just need to replace those top parts because this one is not working. Let me bring another part. You can try to look inside, but you cannot see any like more.
Not really.
That's what's happening.
So while Serge will reassemble that, let me tell you about some of the benefits and drawbacks of these different suspension designs. So the benefits of the old suspension design was that it's simpler, it's not as fiddly, and it doesn't have a pneumatic part. And you could also adjust the preload, which you can't now. Now the drawback was that you have the rebound and the compression on different shocks, but that is also something that you get in the bicycle world, so not that big of an issue. You still needed to take different springs for different weights of rider, but that's something actually that you still need to do on the newer spring design as well. So what are the benefits of the newer design? Well, I think it's a bit more adjustable. For me personally, it's also a bit more comfortable, and actually we can check out later once it's fully assembled and see if the compression and rebound actually makes a bigger difference. Because now that you can change the pressure in this separate system, therefore you can actually increase how strong the compression and rebound works, which sort of does compensate a little bit for the lack of a preload settings. The preload now is sort of the change of the spring and what the pressure in your system is. I do have to say though, LeaperKim made a very ingenious design with those shocks. It is a bespoke design for the electric unicycle world, and was really, and is still really groundbreaking for the whole sport. And as you can see now, even other brands now start using the same exact design, or other brands try to copy LeaperKim. So yeah, I think with the thick, what was it, this part called? I don't know. We are not suspension masters. But with this whole design, with the mounting brackets on the other side, with the oil, with everything being fairly simple to maintain, especially the older shock, the newer one is a bit more difficult. You're oily. I have to say that it's very ingenious and very awesome that we get to have something like this in the electric unicycle world. All right, so we reassembled the Lynx-S with the, is it the 74 or 84? 74 pound spring, the linear spring. Now they come with progressive springs, so I guess this will be still different. We put 150 PSI into the suspension system. I don't know what the official statement for the pressure is by LeaperKim, so do it at your own risk. I heard it's up to 200, but I don't really know. We put 150 into it. So let's really quickly see how the compression works on this one. Now it's very fast compression. Oh, it's just actually so smooth. It feels even smoother than the Patton. Also a bit more suspension travel. Okay, so I'll screw the compression all the way in. So now this compression is all the way in. We should see a bigger difference. Nothing. Still feels very similar actually. Maybe at the end of the suspension travel is actually harder. No, I think at the half of it, it's harder. I think we have to take the Nosfet out to see the difference. But let's also check out the rebound. So rebound without any adjustments. Trampoline. Okay, there was a difference with the compression. But now let's see the rebound all the way slow. Okay, now you can see actually how slowly it goes up again.
Yeah. You can even like make the wheel spin when you.
Yeah. Yeah. So big difference actually in the rebound. Like this feels like a difference, but still not as much as the Nosfet. Let's take the Nosfet just to show you guys what I mean. So this is the Nosfet Xeno with the compression all the way soft. And now we adjusted actually on the bottom also toolless. So let me screw that in. The compression is all the way in. Yeah, now it feels different. Like this is I feel like this difference is much bigger than on the LeaperKim wheels. Good shit, Nosfet. And let me show you the rebound too, because I think that's a big difference too. It sounds so nice, eh? That's...
Should we tell that like there's no Nosfet suspension on the video because it's not broken yet?
Okay.
Other was kind of broken.
It's also not the most popular one because, well, it doesn't exist for so long, right? Okay, so now rebound all the way in with the Refluxa suspension on the Nosfet Xeno. Okay, feels kind of similar. I mean, definitely the rebound is slower, but not as much as I thought. It's extreme on the race. It's like on, off. Really? Yeah. Should we take the race? So all the way open on the race. If I screw this in all the way, I think it'll be a big change. Yeah, it's like a rock. This is like extreme compression, like very hard. Can you see the difference? Yeah. It's insane. Begode suspension, for once, very adjustable actually. And all the way out, very, very different. If I screw both of them in, it's like not moving. Let's see. It's a non-suspension suspension wheel. No suspension at all, with the slowest rebound and the slowest and the hardest compression. So I hope this video was somewhat entertaining and insightful for you to take a deeper dive into the shocking world of shocking suspension shocks. And if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content, shut up train, like that. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.